right, guys. So I'm excited about this because today we're going to talk about transparency, we're going to talk about value, and we're going to talk about percentages in Sketchpad. So I'm going to use a shape to create those three things. So I'm going to go up to the shape. I'm going to start out with squares, but then you're going to see how it works, and then we're going to use whatever shapes you want. So I'm going to go up to this area where you can pick out your shapes, and I'm going to use a square just to show you. The outline is off so that it's just my fill. I'm going to click on the fill and I'm going to start at 100%. So 100% looks like this. If I was to draw a square at 100% and it's yellow, there's my 100% yellow square. If I go back and I change that percentage to 50%, I can draw a 50% square. And the reason why I'm putting it on top of the other one is because you can see now it's transparent because it's 50% and now you can see through the object to the other object. Let's try if I do a square at 10%. That's really much lighter. So now I'm going to draw a square at 10%. I'm going to pause right there because I want you to tell me what happens when I draw this square at 10% versus the square that's at 50% and then the 100% square. What happens to the value? What happens to the color value? And pause. All right, and we're back. So now we can see that the 10% is much lighter and you can see through that object. And then this object is 50%. It's a little bit lighter, medium value. And then this is at 100% value. So we have 100% value, which is dark. We have 50% value, which is medium value. It's transparent at this point. And then we have a 10% value, which is extremely light. So now we see what happens when we're changing the percentages in Sketchpad. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all these squares and I'm going to delete them because I want to start my modern art piece. Now, what are my expectations? My expectations are that you can use any shapes that you want. The shapes are right here and it gives you all these shapes. I'm going to do a radial burst because I think it looks awesome. And I'm going to go to the fill and I'm going to choose a darker color at first. You may use different colors as long as you're changing your percentages. Now, you can change your percentages as long as you have a very dark percentage, which would be 100%, a medium percentage, which would be 50%, and a really light one, which would be like 10 to 20%. So I'm going to use blue to start out with. My outline is off. I'm at 100%. I'm going to cover my page with bursts that are at 100%. And how I can do this really fast is copy and paste. There's two ways of copy and paste. Yours would be option C, option B. If you don't want to use your keyboard, then you can just go up here and you can do the copy here and then you can do the paste here. That's a little nice trick. So a lot of people like to use that. So again, I would go copy and then I would go back up here, the three little dots, and paste. So I am going to paste with my V key just to do it really quickly. I have a bunch of them now and I can spread them out and they're at 100%. And I'm just taking this 100% and I am going all over my page. All over my page. When you start working independently, you can fill your area the way that you want as long as the area is filled. But Ms. Trouts is giving you an idea on how to work with percentages and have that area filled. So now I'm going to use a different color because we're allowed to use different colors. I'm going to go to that shape tool right up here, the burst. I'm going to the fill and I'm changing the color to, I'm going to use pink. So it's nice and you can see it. I'm going to change that to 50%. Now it's transparent now. And as I use this transparency, I'm going to copy and paste it. I'm copy and pasting with my keyboard, but remember, you can also use up here the three little dots, copy and paste. Once you have it copied, you can keep on pasting to get a bunch. That's what I've done. And now I'm going to move these around with my arrow tool. And as you can see, they're transparent. And I can fill my space and make a nice modern art piece with my transparent 50% value sunburst. I'm going to paste a few more. I want to add them to this area. Now, what am I going to do next? And I'm going to pause because I need one more. Out of the three, I have my very dark 100%. I have my 50%. And now I need my what percent? Anybody know? And pause. And we're back. Yes, I need my lighter percent. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to change the color. I'm going to go green, a dark green. I'm going to change this 50%. I said 10 or 20 would be really light. Let's do 20. 20%. 20%. And then I'm going to draw. And as you can see, you can hardly see. It is really light. Copying it, and I'm pasting. I just pasted a bunch of times. You can take as much time as you need, and you can fill yours with any shapes you want as long as you have that dark 100%, you have the medium 50%. It could be 50-40. I would say 50 would make a nice medium percentage value. And then I used this, as you can see it right here, this 20% value. Now, I'm done with my percentages. Now, I can also use pattern to spice up my modern art as long as I'm changing that percentage. So right here it says normal. I can go to the fill. It gives me all these different options. I'm going to choose pattern, and then I'm going to choose a nice pattern that I like, that I think will go with my drawing. I'm going to choose this one, and I'm going to make it 100% because I'm going dark again so that I can get it on top. Okay, so I'm going to use the sunburst still, draw. Look at that cool pattern. So now I have this pattern here. I'm going to copy and paste. It's at 100%, and you can see how it goes right on top because it's not transparent. It's 100%. All right. So I'm going to move this around, and I want you to start drawing now that I've given you the percentages of everything. And we're going to use Sketchpad again. And I think that you will come up with some awesome stuff. So just to reiterate on what we're supposed to do, just to check for understanding, let me know what percentages we're supposed to be using and how many. Pause. And we're back. Yes, we are using 3 percentages. We are using a dark percentage, a medium percentage, and a light percentage that changes the value of our color. And let's get started.